Hey, remodelers, Lane Bolin here with the Remodel Profit Podcast. If you're getting value from our podcast or vlog, would you do me a favor and mash the like button and the subscribe button? It really helps out our channel. We're on a mission here to end the 96% failure rate for contractors on a 10-year period, and it really helps us get the message out. Thanks. What's up, remodelers? So a lot of self-help books, business books, hell, even other gurus, they talk about setting goals and one nail at a time. I just fucking hate it all. What I'm about to show you is my 4-step process we use at CQC Home to own 25% of our market as a $15 million luxury design build remodeler with 10% post-tax net margins. So number one, ask yourself, what problem am I trying to solve? And does it connect to the 3 imperatives? Hey, what's up? If you're listening this far, odds are you're a remodel owner that's interested in increasing your profit. And to that end, I created a free guide on how to add $30K in net profit to your remodeler step by step using the same systems we use at CQC. No strings attached. Don't have anything to sell you. Just go to www.theremodelprofit.com. and just enter in your name, your email, you'll get the copy. Otherwise, the link is in the show notes. And guys, we're on a mission here. 96% of remodelers will fail over a 10-year period. I don't want you to be one of them. Get that guide. Thanks. So this is what I mean by the 3 imperatives. The imperatives are any activity we do must add more customers to the business, create more revenue, or make our business worth more via automation systems, process SOPs. If solving a clearly defined problem does not meet one of those 3 imperatives, just fucking ignore it. There are always going to be problems, no matter how big you get. So step 1, pick the precise problem to solve that provides the most profit. Or in other words, pick the precise problem to solve that gives you the most leverage, that gives you the most return through the lens of the 3 imperatives. And so, for example, right now as the chief operating officer, CQC Home, my problems are getting more leads, pushing deals through design into build, and we have 2 project directors who aren't efficient closing design agreements. In other words, they're not meeting KPI. My focus is how do we double our measure meetings per week in order to shove more designs into build? Like, why? I mean, for starters, build contracts are 15 times the size of design contracts, which creates profit. The thing is, guys, if you have problems and you have money, you don't have problems anymore. Well, then at that point, we'll work on ensuring the 2 project directors that are under standard are complying with process before making the call to invest in more training or recruiting their replacement. Lastly, I'll turn my attention to the leads because it's really easy. We can always just add more budget. Using the additional cash flow by pushing more of our backlog through design into build, we make more money, which gives me more money to spend on marketing. See how I unraveled that little knot? So ladies and gentlemen, stop running into punches. Oh my God, that's the market's way of telling you you're doing it wrong. So instead of running into the fucking punch, solve the problem whose solution creates the most profit and the most time for you, and then work your way down. So now what about your team? So the pro gamer move here, guys, require your team to follow this process when solving the problems in their role so you don't have to micromanage. But check it out. If a team member can't tell you how a problem in their job affects getting more customers, getting more profit, or building company value, that means they don't understand their role. And as managers, we have failed. It is our fault. It is not the team member's fault. It is our fault for not making it clear. So before you do anything regarding problem solving for your business, start by clearly explaining to your team how their specific problem from their specific job gets more customers, gets more profit, and builds company value. And what I mean by that, guys, it's not the problem, it's the solution to the problem. But they need to be able to explain to you clearly how they have a problem and then propose a solution and tie that solution to getting more customers, getting more profit, and building company value. And once they understand that, have them watch this video. And so, ladies and gentlemen, if this is causing you to pause and think, that means you're on the right track. Because if you can just rattle this off, odds are you're probably not thinking through this deeply. And so if you feel like you're lost for a moment, That's okay. The fact that you're considering different possibilities means you're thinking through this. So, number two, we know exactly the problem we're going to solve. Now we're going to test a proposed solution. I mean, it's so common for people to say, cash flow is tight. Our goal is to increase sales by $3 million. Okay. Well, you are hoping something is going to happen by taking a vague, unspecified action that you again hope is going to turn into results. Stop smoking the hopium, y'all. So let's get specific here, guys. If I meet more realtors, then I should see additional sales by quarter end. That is something you can test. There's an input you can measure and there's a result you can measure. So we have a defined input, meeting realtors. We have defined result that directly supports solving the problem, more sales. Guys, this is the hardest part to get right, but it is so damn simple. Okay. Guys, about step two, answer the question, what action are we going to take and what result are we going to test to hit our goal? Guys, we all state goals, right? That we never hit. And then we get disappointed. It didn't hit. And then we get unmotivated and it just becomes harder and harder and harder to move on. Okay. For example, like every year since I got married and left the army, I've said to myself, I'm going to lose 30 pounds. But the first 10 didn't come off until I specified the calories I was allowed to eat and the weight I would lose as a result. Make sense? So number three, guys, fucking execute. So now we just chose the inputs we're going to track. We identified the outputs we're going to track. And now we're going to decide on the actions we are going to take in order to execute the test. So in this case, we want to meet more realtors. Okay. In this test, I'm going to send 500 emails. I'm going to visit 2 broker offices and I expect we'll get 12 realtor meetings scheduled. And if we execute 12 realtor meetings, that should equal 6 referrals, which should equal 1 closed into contract. This is a real goal, y'all. Okay. This is super specific. We can track and measure on both sides of the ledger, inputs, outputs. But guys, we haven't done anything yet. At this point, we're just sitting in our rocking chair with our pipe, thinking through this problem. So now we need to send those damn emails. We need to make those damn office visits and execute those fucking meetings. So lastly, step 4, guys, measure results. There are 4 questions to ask and track the answers to. Okay. Did we do all the inputs? How much? Did we get a result? How much? Did we outperform or underperform our 3 imperative style goal? Okay. Remember, we said we were going to send 100 meetings. We were going to send 100 emails. We were going to visit 2 offices. That was going to equal 12 realtor meetings. And if we got 12 realtor meetings, that should filter into 6 referrals. And that should filter into 1 contract. Let's start with this. Did we get a contract? Yes or no? Okay. If we didn't, we underperformed. Did we get 6 referrals? Yes or no? If we got more referrals, we outperformed. And so we know at that point, the problem is not in the activity of sending the emails and the broker visits. We now know the problem is in the sales process, right? Deductive reasoning, guys. I'm jumping ahead. So we want to ask ourselves, did we outperform or underperform our goal? And then the last part we want to ask ourselves is why? Number 4 is why do we think we out or underperformed? So number 1, did we do the inputs? What was the result? 2, did we get a result? How much? Number 3, do we outperform or underperform our goal? And then lastly, number 4, why? Because if we underperform, the answer to why becomes our next test. And if we outperformed, then the system just becomes new SOP. Does that make sense? So guys, check this out. This is the only advantage that big guys have on it. They only have one, and that is they can iterate through these 4 problem-solving steps faster than you can because they took the time to train their teams. And because their teams are bigger than you, they can solve more problems at the same time. And so they train their teams to approach the problems they face in their job with the 3 imperatives using the 4-step problem-solving process. Let me explain. So at CQC, guys, what we're working on this quarter, if I tell my marketing department I want a 20% reduction in digital lead cost to increase leads by 25%, and I tell my project directors to go out and execute 60 more realtor meetings per month to add another 50% to our deal flow, and I tell the design department to double measure meetings so that we can double design capacity and shorten our backlog by half. Then I tell my recruiter to go out and find me 10 more project manager candidates per month so we can have 4 hired by the time we have those extra jobs leading design 4 to 5 months from now. So now what will we have had? We'll have doubled our leads, doubled our design throughput, and doubled our build throughput to add another $16 million of top line to the company in a year. Guys, right now we're a $15 million company. We execute just those 3 things, guys. Design team, double your measure meetings. PDs, go do 60 more realtor meetings. You're doing none right now. For us, that would be 20 per PD per month. Easy. That's 1 per day. And then, hey, marketing nerds, put your fucking thinking cap on and reduce our cost by 20% or you're fucking fired. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't say that to our marketing department, but y'all know what I mean. And they're just joking. And they're like, oh, that's Lane being a hard ass again. He's secretly a softie, which is true. But anyway, this is only possible because we trained our team on the 3 imperatives and the 4-step problem solving process. So what's going to happen next? Starting this quarter, I mean, this is May. I've already seen the results of this, but this was a discussion you had at the beginning of April. What happened next is my department leaders then broke down my tests for them, my goals for them, into 3 to 5 different tests for each department to solve to reach their goal. And they assigned each an individual test and activity to an individual team member. And then we meet monthly to track the goals. And then every quarter, we decide on which tests are validated to become SOP, and then create a new test to solve a new problem. And that way, every quarter, we're just getting a little bit every stinking quarter. And the more team members you have trained on this process, that means the more problems you can solve. That means incrementally, the more you can improve as a company. Right? That's why you have hockey stick growth, right? Where it takes 10 years to go from being a handyman to a $2.5 million design build remodeler, but it only takes 3 years to go from 2.5 to 15 million. It's this process right here. And so this is how just last year, guys, we went from losing 2% on 8 million in sales to earning 11% net post-tax on 15 million in sales in less than a year. Like we doubled our company, our top line, doubled the company size, and grew profits by 400% in a year. Insane. But again, using this process I'm giving you. So guys, fuck one nail at a time. Teach your team the 4-step problem solving process. Measure it monthly and decide on what tests are valid quarterly to become SOP. Everybody should have at least 1 test they're working on. Everybody in your company, 1 test they're working on. The Army, I feel like they do this study every 30 years and they get the same results. I don't know why we waste tax money. But the Army goes out and they always do the study to see how many complex problems, tests, can one person handle and still be 100% effective at their job. And the answer is 3 to 5. So just start with 1. Get everybody working on this process, moving in the same direction together with the 4-step problem solving process, and then start, adding 2 and 3. Yeah, but don't cap out more than 5. Like for me, best practice, if you're a team member on our team, you get 3. If you're a department leader, you get 4. If your name is Lane and Ken, you get 5. Okay. But don't stress these people out. You're gonna get burned out. But anyway, back to what we're talking. Teach your team the 4-step problem solving process. Before that, teach them the 3 imperatives of your business and how their role relates to the 3 imperatives. Then give them a test to solve every quarter, right? Or at least to construct, give them a goal every quarter, approve their test, measure it monthly, and then decide, are we going to validate it and turn it into SOP? Or are we going to use the answer of why it didn't work to create a new test? That's it, guys. And so every time you have a win, that becomes SOP. Every time you have a loss, you learn something that's going to create a better test next time. That way, guys, every quarter as a company, we're either earning more or we're learning more. So you all be good. Hey, what's up? As a reward for getting this far in our video, I have a special offer for you. I'm actually lying. I do have something to sell you, but it's not going to cost you any money, just your time. So every month we have a masterclass. It's only live, nothing's ever recorded, and we're going to solve 3 problems together. Number 1, we're going to solve your lead flow. Number two, we're going to solve how to get customers to pay you cash before your marketing bill is due, in excess of your cost, so you have profit to go build your company. It's the secret to an infinite money printing machine as a remodeler. And the third problem we're going to solve is how to move away from selling rinky-dink $500 estimates to clipping $4,000 plus simply to put an estimate together. If you're curious how, I got a masterclass for you. Kicks off every month. Again, live, not recorded. Afterwards, you and I will do some live Q&A together. I'll let you in behind the scenes on some real black hat shit that we do, just to see what the real is. There's some stuff I just can't show public. Anyhow, again, guys, www.theremodelprofit.com. Go there, links in the notes, get our Remodel business dysfunction prescription. And then once you get through that, you'll get the invitation to our masterclass. So again, www.theremodelprofit.com. Enter in your info, get our guide on solving remodeler business dysfunction, and sign up for the masterclass. All right, guys, I'll see you.